Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 208. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Dane Cody, here for our E3 extravaganza.
Ganza. Dane and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. And this week it's going to be a whole lot of E3. Live from the show floor. Oh, wait.
Not this year.
Live from our living rooms, streamed to our monitors.
Yeah.
I
watched it on my television.
Yeah, I watched it on my TV too. Actually, I found it very convenient streaming from the YouTube app to every TV in my house I can stream to without any other devices involved. So
look at you.
Yeah, made watching very easily because I could move from the living room to the office and didn't have to screw around with cable boxes or Android boxes or other stuff. My smart TVs are smart enough to understand how to get a casted signal from my cell phone. So that worked out really well. Welcome, everyone. If you've never been here before, usually we start the show off with our BS section, which we are knee-deep in. Get into some what you've been playing. We'll probably keep that pretty trim because I think we're going to have quite a bit of news to discuss.
Nah.
And I don't think we don't have any public service announcements, and I don't think we're going to have time for free-for-all. It's going to be all news, all E3.
All news, all E3, all the time.
And that's pretty much it. It was my daughter's birthday on the weekend, and when I wasn't busy with birthday stuff, I was watching streams.
Yeah, it was...
I watched a whole lot of streams. I think I watched everything. I didn't miss a single one. Well, I didn't watch the AMD one. And
lame.
I watched bits and pieces of it, but I was busy when that one was on.
I tried my best, so I watched the Microsoft one because that was obviously important. I did not catch the Bethesda one live.
I watched it.
I watched a bunch of it after, caught the highlights and stuff. I didn't watch the Square one either.
No, thankfully you didn't watch out.
It's because the Raptors were playing, baby. Got my priorities in order, you know.
Yeah, I had them both going.
Fair enough. I did catch the Nintendo one. Mm-hmm. I had it sort of played in the background while I was at work. And I had a similar thing with the AMD one. I had it running kind of in the background on my other monitor when I was at work.
Yeah,
doing some stuff and sort of following along with that. I didn't catch I did catch the Ubisoft one, similar thing, but not like it was a little different because it wasn't like just sitting down and watching it. It was like taking phone calls, and then I'd pause it and like do some stuff, and then we'll play it again, and so on and so forth.
So we have to do the traditional "Who won E3" press conference. We don't have to. I liked the Microsoft one was really good. The Nintendo one was really good. I'd say they were equally good.
Yeah.
Bethesda,
Microsoft
honestly
kind of wins in a weird way, I feel like, because
Keanu Reeves.
Sony wasn't there and they fucking had Keanu Reeves. Like,
yeah, that's pretty awesome move. That was pretty awesome. I actually yelled.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow! I don't do that often.
Yeah, no,
and he's in an amazing game.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is going to be an amazing game. We don't know yet because we haven't played it, but...
And he came out on stage and he just seemed like... He looked like he was nervous. Like, he genuinely came out and he looked kind of giddy and excited. And
There's a story out there somewhere saying that he was blown away by the fan reaction. He didn't think he was going to get a reaction like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember I think it was on VG247.
Yeah.
They had an article saying that he was totally taken by the reaction. And apparently that dude that yelled at him was like, "You're breathtaking." He's like, "No, you're breathtaking.
You're all breathtaking."
Apparently that guy's getting like a
collector's edition
of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Now the only problem with that is that every other conference, someone yelled something at some point, and I kind of found that a little annoying. But anyway.
Well, fair enough.
It wasn't as endearing as that moment was.
No, that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. Microsoft must have been like, their PR people were just like, yes.
Apparently they tried really, they worked really hard to keep that all under wraps that he was going to be there for that.
Yeah, it didn't get spoiled. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And he plays a pretty big role in the game.
Yeah, no,
It's not like
I
some
think it's
DLC
rad.
or some BS. He's in it.
and he just seems like a good human being. So I mean, hell yeah, bring it on.
Bethesda.
So for me,
was-
I feel like the Microsoft wins, but
yeah, Bethesda was good. Well, we'll get to it. Let's start at the top.
sure. EA,
Actually, before we even get into that, let's just quickly go over some what you've been playing.
what have you been playing?
Well, this is part and parcel with the Xbox press conference. They announced officially, it had leaked, and I think we talked about it last week, was the Game Pass for PC,
Yep.
but there was no pricing and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, if you upgraded to the Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass PC is part of that, along with Live and Game Pass Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I upgraded my account.
Same.
I think I had 6 months left of one and 3 months left of another, and somehow I've got a year of Ultimate for $1.
Lucky.
So sweet. Had I known that, I probably would have gone and purchased a year of Live or something on sale and gotten 2 years, but whatever.
You're telling me.
Not like I even paid for that time to begin with, so
There you go.
I got that. I think I got my Live. I think Microsoft gave me a year Live last year, but anyway, I downloaded it. Well, actually, before I downloaded it, I went through a bunch of headaches to try and update my Windows. Got that updated. Then I got the new Xbox Game Pass for PC app.
Beta.
Whatever, beta,
Yep.
which is basically just like it's a pretty slimmed down launcher. It's got some social features.
Well,
It
because
basically has access to the.
Let's explain this a little bit better. So, like the existing Xbox app on PC has been
Is
now
only for
turned
Xbox.
into the Xbox Companion app.
Yeah.
Like the console companion app. I believe that's even what it's called. Yeah, Xbox
Xbox.
console companion is what that has been turned into now.
Which is your friends list, your achievements, your clubs, your messaging for Xbox,
Yep.
what your friends are doing and all that crap. But it's Xbox.
Exactly. So that has been relegated to that now.
And all
And
the
then-
PC stuff was part of the Windows Store, which was the big
Shitty.
pile of garbage.
So now they've launched the Xbox Game Pass for PC as an app alone, and you can go and download it separately now.
Which is basically a browser for all the stuff that's included with your subscription
Exactly.
and a launcher.
But you do have to have the newest version of Windows, the 1903, or the spring 2019 update installed on your PC.
Which you may or may not have, depending on your settings or whether you actually checked for an update recently.
Yes, or it might not be getting pushed out to you because of a hardware incompatibility, which is where I'm at.
Yeah, no one cares.
There's an issue right now with Dolby Atmos and that new and licensing on the newest versions. So,
Man, you should get a new headset.
I know this one's small and smells like fart. Don't ask me why. I blame Brian.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Yeah.
So I downloaded the app after jumping through some hoops.
Sweet.
I immediately started downloading stuff because I'm like, hey, I'm a member of this crap, so I'm going to download some shit. And I downloaded Metro Exodus. I got Forza, couple other things.
Forza was already, you could already download it because it was crossplay.
Yeah, it was
anyways.
crossplay and through the store, but now I have it in this launcher, which is kind of nice.
Sweet.
I didn't realize that the games, you get your Xbox achievements.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that because had I had Metro Exodus from the Epic Game Launcher, I don't think you get achievements because so being part of this this app now, I guess the triggers for achievements tie into
Kick
your
in.
Xbox.
That's
which is pretty
cool.
cool. So I was earning achievements. I played very little. I don't have much to say about Metro. I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Seems pretty decent.
Well, wait. I thought you were playing it on Xbox One.
I never had Metro Exodus. I never got it.
Is
We
the
played
Exodus-
it at PAX. This is the new one.
For some reason, I thought you did.
No,
I could have
never
swore we
got
talked
it.
about it on the show.
Yeah, I talked about it when we played it at PAX last year.
All right.
I never had it. I never played it. Never bought it.
Huh.
I reached out to them and I think they said suck an egg, suck a.
Oh. And
But anyway,
then
the app is cool, and I'm actually pretty happy to be a member of it, and it's really cool that I'll be able to get some Chivos when I'm playing PC games, because that's awesome.
Yeah, that part of it's really cool. I didn't realize that. That I'm excited
neither
about.
did I. So was a pretty cool perk. That
because the other cross play games or whatever that I've been playing, like Forza Horizon 4 and Super Lucky
the Microsoft
Tales,
ones,
those ones
supported achievements. Yeah. But none of the other one, they've never really had this before. They did when they had the games for Windows Live thing, which was
that was
terrible.
garbage.
But anyway,
yeah.
So that's it. If I'm pretty happy being an Ultimate member. Probably not going to be happy next year when I have to resubscribe and it costs an arm and a leg. But hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. I'll talk about one of these, and that's Dauntless, and it has taken over my life, and that's all I play now.
Yeah.
I am playing the harder difficulty stuff now. I've gotten into what they call the Dire and Radiant monsters, which is
and you're like endgame.
Pretty dope. I thought I might be getting there, and then I realized that there's like monsters with quite a bit higher level than the ones that I'm even fighting right now. So I'm fighting monsters that are level, like difficulty level, as they call it, 8 and 9 right now. But there's monsters, I think the difficulty level goes up to like 17 or 18 I've seen. So I'm like, according to that, I'm kind of like halfway maybe. But yeah, that shit, now that they've got their server stuff sorted out, it is way smoother. You can tell that they're still working on it. I had kind of a weird issue there at some point last week, but I can't tell if it was because they had just rebooted the servers and I didn't realize it. And so I was logging in and like a bunch of stuff wasn't really working. And then I gave it 5 more minutes and everything worked fine. So that was good. It looks awesome. It's playing really good. Yeah, man, go download Dauntless. Like seriously, it's rad.
I have downloaded it. I just haven't played it. Hey,
dude,
it's coming to Switch.
It almost
Maybe
every
that's
night.
when I'll start playing
I'm playing it almost every night, man. I see you playing Destiny 2, and I'm like, shit.
Pew, 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 pew. No, there's no week in this.
Dauntless.
There's no this week in Destiny. Yeah, it's crack cocaine, man. It's straight into my veins. The grind is on again, and it's fun.
That's what's happening to me in Dauntless. It's gross. I've been, every time I log in now, I've been looking at the stupid hunt pass, thinking like, is this the game that's gonna actually get me like to buy in on the hunt pass? And like I'm already level 14 on my hunt pass.
If there was no expansion and there was no Game Pass PC thing going on right now, I feel like I'm kind of in a lull right now. Like I was looking back at stuff that I should be playing off my pile of shame.
Yeah.
And then this expansion came out, and then the Metro and the whole Game Pass PC thing.
And like in 2 weeks, everything is going to drop.
I probably would have played Dauntless. So.
Yeah. Don't give me your excuses.
So, anyway, let's move along. Let's get into the news. E3.
Extravaganza.
So, things started off on Saturday at the EA Play event.
I mean, did they really?
Well, they kind of warmed us up a little bit. They had a stream. They didn't have a press conference.
Some like over the clothes petting, maybe.
The big news was they showed off Jedi Fallen Order.
We did get to see gameplay of that.
Gameplay. I think it looks freaking awesome. I have pre-ordered it on Xbox because I want the best possible version. Well, I guess it's coming on PC too, but I don't play these types of games on PC.
I'm curious whether or not it's going to be a EA Access premium game or not.
See, that's the thing. They didn't say.
I know.
And they
said as an EA Access premium member,
if it's part of it, you've got it.
Exactly. So until I hear clarification, I'm definitely not going to be
I took advantage of the Walmart. Walmart in Canada right now has their E3 sale going on right now, and I'm pretty sure it's still going on for a few days after this episode goes up.
Right.
Best Buy has their sale as well. For some reason, Walmart had this game's $50 at Walmart, so it's like $30 off, which is
pretty huge.
Yeah, like, I'll pre-order it for $30 off. Like that's worth it,
right?
Especially considering like EA we don't have a connection there at all. This just never happened.
Yeah,
so it's not like I'm going to get a review copy. So I thought it looked cool. The demo looked cool. I'm down for it. I'm excited. I was pretty impressed.
I was getting some serious Force Unleashed kind of vibes from it.
It seemed heavy.
Like it seems like it plays better than that game did, but it's very like, you know, powers, fighting dudes,
very powerful.
Third person, like, you know, you're a Jedi working your way through, like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of had a very using your powers for the environment to like traverse and stuff like that. Very
some really cool kills, like you freeze I guess time or freeze.
You like slow it down. Yeah.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
You'd freeze a
It's because
slow
you're
time.
moving so fast.
It pull an enemy towards him and
like
then
time slowing down.
And then throw him into his own like blaster bolt, which is like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some neat executions. Just like looks like a counter system and dodge and parry system.
Yeah, it looks like they've done like some serious work on the combat system, so it looks like it's actually fun.
There are
play.
skill points and upgrades. They didn't show any of that, but like it popped on screen whenever they got a new skill point.
You have 2 skill points to
Yeah,
use.
apparently there was the demo on the floor goes a little longer if you're at EA Play.
Yeah, I heard it started a little bit earlier and went a little bit longer.
But yeah, that was awesome. And then I pretty much tuned out.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised. Like, I was a little surprised, and I mean, we're still early here, so like a lot of polish can happen from now until launch. But I was definitely not wowed by how the game looked, if that makes sense. Like,
good.
Like I thought it looks okay. I didn't think it looked bad. I just, and I realized that they're not. I can't believe I'm going to say this. They're not using the Frostbite engine for that game. They're using their own their own engine. Again, the Respawn engine. I don't know, whatever they call it. You know, which means the game will probably be great. But I will say, man, after like watching that and then watching the Battlefield stuff that came right after, the visual difference was like incredibly striking. I was just like, wow, like if there's one thing I will give Frostbite is it looks really good.
Well, yeah, especially, it's very photorealistic.
Well, and especially for games that are designed for it, like those first-person shooters, like it was made to as a Battlefield engine, essentially, right? So, like when it is being utilized for those types of games it was made for, man, does it ever shine? It just seems like when you're using it for everything else that it sucks giant donkey balls.
And let's not forget the little bot in Fallen Order is amazing.
Yeah, he does seem pretty cool, or it seems pretty cool.
Apex Legends is new season. They talked about it. They get a new character. Whoopie ding dong. I really like Apex. It's just hard to break away from other stuff and play that. FIFA Street is back in FIFA. People were kind of excited about that. And then Battlefield 5 they're going back to the Pacific.
Yeah.
Battle of Iwo Jima.
Yeah, they're redoing that map. That stuff, it was funny. I was watching the Battlefield stuff, and it kind of made me want to install Battlefield 5 and at least like, play through the campaign. And they didn't even talk about freaking Anthem at all. They actually did mention it very briefly in between two of the things.
Okay, well, nothing of substance that is very exciting.
No, all they really said was we are still working on Anthem. We are still working on all of that. Don't think that because we are not talking about it here that it is going away and we're not continuing it.
Yeah, so that was Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, we got the Xbox press conference, which was, I thought, very, very well produced, very tight.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Pretty entertaining. I didn't really think it dragged too bad, maybe in a couple spots, but
there's a few things that really surprised me with the lack of them talking about their streaming. I was surprised by. I thought they were going to go into that a lot more.
They didn't want to clutter their conference. You could try it on the show floor. One of my friends tried it, and he said it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He played it on an Android cell phone with the Xbox controller, and he was blown away. So apparently that's going to be beta in a month or two here for insiders, for Windows insiders or Xbox insiders. I think it's the same freaking thing pretty much. But yeah, they didn't really talk about it too much in their press conference. They did come out, they showed, well, this story's not really in order, but they did talk about Scarlet. They talked about generalized specs,
It was very similar to what I expected them to talk about.
Kind of like the leaks that from the PlayStation reveal, but this was actually coming from Phil Spencer, so very similar, SSD.
We're calling it Project Scarlet. It's coming next
year,
next fall, holiday 2020.
I know you're like the hardware's not there; they can't do it before next year. But I was just thinking, I'm like, man, if they really wanted to blow out the doors, it would have been no. It's coming out next spring, and da 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 da.
The hardware is just not ready yet.
Yeah, well, so I believe that now, considering that AMD, on a related note, didn't even show their RTX enabled freaking card.
Well, so that's the thing. When I expected them to talk about Navi when they did. I know we're sort of bouncing, but they're both connected.
Yeah, that's connected because that's the video card in these consoles.
So AMD is they're building the CPU and the GPU for both the Xbox and the PlayStation, their next gen consoles. It's going to be based on the 3rd generation Ryzen, which they're launching in July, and Navi, which they're also launching in July. But the thing is that Navi Plus, so essentially their 2nd gen of Navi, when they make some modifications and they do, it's essentially the refresh. That is what's rumored to actually launch with hardware ray tracing. So that's kind of... So we learned that Navi is launching in July. It does not have hardware ray tracing yet. Obviously, the 5700 series that they're launching won't have ray tracing. They are talking about enabling in the drivers. They will be enabling ray tracing for the cards, so it still will be compatible with actual ray tracing. It just will not be hardware enabled.
Yeah,
so similar to what
take a pretty nasty hit.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing, and I will say the AMD cards are in a weird, compared to the Nvidia cards, the way that they work. They've got a lot more compute horsepower than the same sort of Nvidia cards because of the way that they were developed and designed, which is funny because on paper they take, for example, the Vega 64 card has got a huge amount of compute power, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be able to crunch a huge amount of numbers in games, just the way that their pipelines and stuff are set up. But that being said, when all of the Bitcoin and all that shit was the rage, the AMD cards were incredibly good at mining, and that's why they were in such high demand for so long when those cards came out, because that's what they were really awesome at doing. So they actually do. So there is a potential that from a software, ray tracing perspective, you might actually be able to use it. The thing is you're just not going to be able to be rocking, 1440p, 4K and stuff like that. There's no way that they're going to be able to do it on that. But for some light ray tracing and some possibly audio ray tracing and things like that, they'll still probably be able to handle that kind of stuff, which is pretty exciting either way. So we saw NVIDIA do a similar thing where they enabled all of their lineup of the Pascal
the 1080
series.
has RTX, but
you can enable it.
Rates to be dog shit.
Exactly. But it gives you an idea of you can kind of at least play with it and so on and so forth. So it sounds like AMD's kind of doing a similar thing with Navi to start, and next year the refresh is supposed to be ray tracing enabled. So
my bombshell moment that I feel like Microsoft should have done, and then they would have won everything. It just technically wasn't feasible, unfortunately.
No, it's not there yet.
I was hoping they were going to do some crazy shit. But it was a good conference. You know, the box is going to be powerful. SSD.
Yep.
Used as virtual RAM. I'm pretty sure that's an NVMe drive to be able to do that as well. Just like
all that
the
means
PS5.
is they're taking a chunk of it and setting it aside as virtual RAM. That's all that means. So instead of having a 64 gig drive, you'll have a 62 gig
the
drive.
PS5 and the next Xbox are going to be so similarly spec'd.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's going to be really interesting to see what feature besides software library is going to differentiate these two systems. They're going to be very, very similar.
Yep. I think what's going to differentiate them is going to be the small stuff. Like Sony's already talking about what they're doing with audio, and like it sounds like they have their own like audio chip that's going to be going in that. Like that's a custom audio solution. Chances are, I mean, I'm guessing, but chances are we'll see Microsoft continue with their support of like known standards like Dolby Atmos and the DTS:X stuff that's already kind of coming out for spatial audio.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Next year.
It was pretty much what I expected.
Yeah.
You know.
Halo Infinite. It's going to be a launch title.
Yep.
They showed some Halo stuff. It looked pretty cutscene-y. They said it was all an engine, but, you know.
I don't feel that was... Like, when they were showing it, I was like, when they were like, and here's a shot of Halo Infinite, you know, running next gen or whatever.
It looked good, but it just looked like a cutscene.
Like, to me, I didn't feel that looked anything that it couldn't be done on existing consoles right now. I felt like that was the weird thing for me is were showing it and I was like, I feel like they could do this on an Xbox One X now. Like, I don't know.
It was definitely like 60 frames, 4K. Like, there's some things there that, like, I don't think we'd get away with that smoothness on the current consoles.
Yeah, I mean, that was the other thing they did mention, that they are talking about high frame rate gaming. They're talking about 120 frames a second. It's going to be FreeSync. Like, all that stuff is cool.
Are very nice.
Yeah. No, it's going to be powerful. It's, you know, so they did say holiday 2020 for that.
The George R.R. Martin game was teased there. Elden Ring from Software, George R.R. Martin.
Yep.
Just an announced trailer. I don't believe it's on the show. There's been no gameplay.
No,
it looks just like a freaking Dark Souls game.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure I'll be all over it.
Yeah.
Those guys have been they've delivered. They have not faltered yet.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds is awesome.
Sorry? I was going to say they obviously, we've already sort of mentioned it, but they talked about the Games Pass for PC, 100 games, that sort of, you know, they covered a bit more, I don't know, even more, but they covered a bunch of that and reiterated that they will be launching games simultaneously on Xbox One and PC at launch. So Gears 5, Battletoads, like, you know, all that kind of stuff is going to be coming out on PC as well.
Part of the game, and will be part of Game Pass. The coolest thing about Xbox is literally almost every game they showed and coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
and it's like, wow, like the investment in that is just paying off because I'm gonna have Gears 5, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that.
Yeah, for sure.
Outer Worlds is the Obsidian game. It's basically looks like Fallout New Vegas in outer space.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that, doesn't it?
Looks fantastic. Those are the guys who did Fallout New Vegas, so that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Theory's new game, Bleeding Edge, was revealed. I think some people were quite disappointed as this leaked.
I was absolutely one of those people that was disappointed.
It's a 4-on-4 brawler. I don't know. I'll have to play it.
Fighting multiplayer only game, like not what I wanted out of Ninja Theory at all.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a studio that is like fucking killer at making great single player experiences, and now you go and tell me that they're building a like class based hero brawler multiplayer game.
Someone called it basically looked like Lawbreakers, and Overwatch had a baby.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
That's a problem. Like, I thought it looked kind of cool, but with a game that's character-driven game, like, if you're going to do a game that heavily focuses on characters, your character's got to be better than what Overwatch is doing. They can't be okay. They have to be amazing character designs that people fall in love instantly. And I'm just like, I didn't see any character in there that I'd be like, I didn't see a Ryu or a Ken where I'm like, oh, I identify or want to play that guy. I just saw a bunch of random, like, weird, I don't know. I'd have to play it. It already looks like you said, you were disappointed. I was a little disappointed too. It's not the type of game that I'm looking for. So, but
it's just not what I wanted out of that studio.
Yeah.
Like that studio has such a pedigree, and not to like put them in a box, and not to say like they can't make other things. Like, fair enough, and like, who knows? Maybe this will come out and I'll love it and it'll be great. Mm-hmm. It's just that, you know, you've got a studio with such talent that they, you know, they're one of, not the few, but they're I feel like a studio that could, given the right budget and the time, you know, give
they're coming
a
off
studio,
a Hellblade,
right?
know?
But they're a studio that might possibly be able to take Naughty Dog and give them a run for their money when it comes to like a single a single player story driven experience, and instead of getting them to make you something like that, this is, I don't know, like, and again, like, I don't want to shoebox any studio into but
there's a beta coming, technical alpha June 27th.
Yeah,
maybe we'll get to try it then, but Minecraft Dungeons looks awesome. Diablo Minecraft, hey, who isn't down with that? Coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. They announced
Microsoft.
that they were purchasing Double Fine Studios.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of huge. So obviously
building their repertoire, their studio repertoire some more.
Tim Schafer came out and he was like, "Yeah, so we're joining Microsoft Game Studios, so that'll be cool."
They had Cyberpunk's non-exclusive, but they had Cyberpunk on their stage with a new trailer.
That looks awesome.
Keanu Reeves came out,
which was also awesome.
Blew everyone away.
Yeah.
The internet was pretty much like Microsoft wins E3.
Yeah.
Now and forever because of that moment.
I don't know about forever, but definitely this year I feel like they did.
They showed some Gears trailer. They didn't really show any Gears gameplay. They just revealed a new mode and that it was coming to Game Pass.
Yeah. Did you catch the Gears? Like, they did a stream after it. I think it was 5 that night.
They're having... I think that escape mode's playable on the show floor. It's a three player PvE mode.
Right, it's like a
kind of looks like kind of like a horde kind of mode, horde escape mode kind of.
Yeah, you set a bomb and you've got a certain amount of time to try and get out of the hive. Essentially,
they showed Battletoads, which they talked about last year. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I wasn't in love with the art style, to be honest.
I think that you and I are on the same page with that.
Yeah. Couch co-op. We'll have to play it to, it's hard to tell. Like, I mean, it controls well and plays well. Like,
I don't have a super fondness for the original, to be honest. Like, I played it and I got frustrated, and I don't know if I made it past the second level.
And the old one was that classic like sprite.
Graphics, but I did. There was something about that art style and even on the box and stuff that I really appreciated. So
they unveiled Blair Witch, which no one,
looks
it was unexpected.
Scary as shit.
I thought it was like I thought it was a new Alan Wake, like guy in the woods with a flashlight, and I'm like, oh, what? No way, no.
That's funny. I thought the same thing too.
They talked about xCloud. If you're there, you can play it. Demo's coming soon. And then, of course, they showed Phantasy Star Online 2.
Fuck yeah.
Which some people are very excited. Spring 2020, crossplay between Xbox One and PC.
A little bit of background. Sega announced that they were bringing that game over here years ago.
Yeah, and it just hasn't happened.
And then it just never happened. So the fact that they're finally bringing it to a stage, they're finally saying, like, Microsoft and us, we are launching it on Xbox One. This is coming out finally. That's fuck yeah. I played so much of the original on Dreamcast, so.
And it's free to play.
And it sounds like it's going to have all the expansions and everything that game has had since the launch in Japan. Of course, you got to ask yourself at this point, Is it
there's
gonna
a
be
bunch
worth
of
playing? I don't know, but
so those are some of the biggest announcements. Of course, they had some other stuff. The Microsoft Flight Simulator looked like a really cool. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna play that. That was a neat surprise.
I also, the one moment in that whole thing that I thought about you was when they announced their new Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I saw them announcing this, and I was like,
as soon as I saw that, I'm like,
Rick's
finally, that was supposed to be announced last year, you assholes.
Yeah, it's been re-engineered. It's got more adjustable everything.
Yeah, you can adjust the tightness of the sticks. Oh, that's amazing.
Up to 40 hours of a rechargeable battery life now, so it's actually got a built-in battery. And it's also as expensive.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be like 200 Canadian.
179 American.
It's probably like 230 Canadian or something.
Wouldn't even surprise me if it's more than that. 239, 249 even.
Maybe if I ask nice, they'll send me one.
Fuck you.
I doubt it.
Yeah, they announced, obviously Age of Empires Definitive Edition. I just wish they'd make a new actual Age of Empires instead of re-releasing all these old ones.
Yeah.
Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition.
Ori's still coming. They reminded us about that. So anyway, a good conference. It was jam-packed. We talked about some of the biggest stuff. There was some small stuff there too that, anyway, we'll be talking about more stuff as stories start dropping onto E3 over the next few days still. I'm sure we will have more to say about Microsoft. Sunday night, Bethesda had their press conference. I will say they came out right away, talked about Fallout 76, talked about what they did wrong, acknowledged that there was mistakes made, which is fantastic. It was exactly what they should have done, so I give them huge bonus points for that.
Yeah.
NPCs are coming. A story mode, like a better story mode, is coming. A huge update, and that's I believe this fall. So that's pretty exciting. That was the absolute best thing they could have done, and the right way to totally handle that, which is awesome, as opposed to just like sweeping it under the rug and forgetting about it. So, they showed off Arcane's new game, Deathloop. Looks a little. You can see some influence from whatchamacallit. God damn it, from Dishonored in there, with like the powers and assassinating stuff.
Looks definitely interesting.
There wasn't a release date or anything, but
no.
Doom Eternal is coming November. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows. It's Doom. We know it's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm hearing from people that have played it on the show floor that it plays fucking so good.
I ended up pre-ordering that myself from Walmart again. It was another cheap one. They actually had it on PC, whereas I don't know the other. No, actually, maybe I'm mistaken. Actually, I think I got that one at Best Buy. Never mind. That one actually worked. Speaking about Best Buy, I just got to talk
code
shit
in
about
it or something.
What?
Does that mean you're going to get a box with a code in it?
Yeah, probably. But I'm getting a discount. They had it for $54.99 or something.
Weird.
So it was actually 30% off. And that was the whole Best Buy sale. And I'm going to talk some shit about them right now. Best Buy's sale was like 30% off, pre-order all the biggest E3 stuff. And that's like nothing's in stock.
Interesting.
Like the day the sale went live, nothing was in stock. And then over the last day or so, some stuff has come in and out of stock. So I don't know if they're just limiting how many they're discounting. Because let's be honest, how's there a limit on pre-orders? Like, these games are so far out. Whereas Walmart hasn't had any stock issues with their sale. And they've actually had better pricing on some stuff. So a bunch of stuff I pre-ordered from there. But they didn't have this game on PC. They only had the console versions at Walmart. So I actually was able to pre-order this one at Best Buy. So you guys suck, don't suck.
Okay.
That was a backhanded compliment.
All right.
Ghostwire Tokyo was unveiled. New game from Tango Gameworks, the Evil Within guys.
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool.
It's a very cool trailer. It literally said nothing about much of anything. I have no idea.
It's like it's an announced teaser trailer, kind of like Deathloop was.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein Youngblood had a little trailer, and I don't know, there was some other stuff, but overall, to be honest, they talked about a bunch of mobile crap. They talk about Blades They talked about what else did they talk about? They spent a lot of time on mobile games.
They talked about ESO, things like that.
Yeah.
But
Overall, to be honest, to me, it's like, why? You guys did not need a conference this year. It was pretty. It wasn't a very exciting one. It wasn't terrible, but it was just like there was no really amazing announcements. No Starfield, no whatever the next Skyrim.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So it was kind of meh. So that was Sunday. Going to Monday, we had the PC game show in the morning. It was all right.
That was the one I didn't get to watch.
It was hard to watch. I don't think there was any really unknown quantities that were unveiled there.
Right.
That we didn't know about. Samsung unveiled their inexpensive 1080p curved G-Sync 27-inch monitor, which is kind of cool if you want to get into the high hertz G-Sync monitors on the low end. I think it was like $400 or something.
That's crazy to me to think that that's supposed to be low end for fucking monitors now.
But it's 1080p. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
It's also 240 hertz though.
Yeah, that's it. 240 hertz, not even like
that's
140.
Why.
So that's pretty.
But again, you got to be able to run the games at like 240 hertz to that's and if you got a 2080 Ti to run your shit at, you're not going to be running it at. I mean, I hope you're not going to be running it at 1080p, but maybe you are. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was half watching that. I was playing Destiny while watching it. The Ubisoft press conference, again, it was decent.
There was some big stuff that was missing from this, I thought.
Yeah, there was.
So, right off the bat, I thought we were going to get, so last year, there was a huge chunk of their conference where they showed Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh, yeah.
And because that took up five, it was a big chunk of their, and they made a big deal out of it. They didn't even fucking mention it this year. It wasn't even there. I thought for sure, you show off that much of it last year, and then this year.
I think they talked about it last week or the week before, saying it wasn't going to be here.
I just I don't know at this point,
Yeah, it's been shown a few times now.
Yeah.
Obviously, that one must be having issues. But Watch Dog Legions was revealed.
Yeah.
I think it looks really freaking cool.
Looks interesting.
That was exciting.
Recruit people, and you can turn in. Essentially, you play as them after you die. It sounds like if you die, you can sort of take over as one of these other people that you've recruited.
Other people's it's almost like you've got a big party of different people with different skills. Mm-hmm. People fell in love with Hacker Grandma from the trailer.
I'm wondering if you can jump between them, or if they have to die. Do you know what I mean?
I think you can jump between them.
Because that would be kind of a unique thing, right?
I think they were just showing the premise as to why or how there's multiple players. It definitely makes for a diverse character base, which is cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to find someone that they can relate to that they might like playing. Mm-hmm. But then the whole point of using other people is they have different skills.
Yeah.
They were highlighting the fact in the demo that the one kid they wanted to recruit was a drone expert or drone hacker. Yeah, it looks awesome. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it looks neat. They released a launch date, March 6th, 2020 for it, which is kind of cool.
2020 is looking
that
pretty
early.
damn-packed.
Oh, man, the first half
we forgot to mention Cyberpunk got a release date, too. It's 2020.
Yeah.
As well. April.
That whole January, February, March, and April of next year is going to be busy.
April, March, especially. They unveiled their new IP from the guys, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team, I believe it is.
This looks fucking dope.
Gods and Monsters.
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks like a super crazy detailed Breath of the Wild in mythological times.
It felt like they took the Assassin's Creed Odyssey and then they removed all of the constraints of being based in a
photorealistic kind of
and they went crazy with the art style. They went crazy with the lore. You're a hero, sort of a demigod taking on real gods, and
they went fantasy.
It looks super cool. I really
February. They got a release date February next year.
Yeah, February 25th, 2020. like I said, that chunk next year, man, is gonna be busy.
That was a cool surprise. They launched free to play game Roller Champions, which is kind of like a roller derby kind of PvP sports game. It's free. It's on a demo on PC right now, but I think that's only running until the end of the week.
Oh, okay.
I did play it. Actually, I didn't put in our outline, but I did download it and play it. I suck at it. It's kind of hard.
Interesting.
I see how it has some kind of like Rocket League influence, but to be honest, it didn't control amazingly. You know, the first time I played Rocket League, it was easy to get into, and the fun was immediately like, oh, this is hilarious. This is fun to drive, fun to control. How to play it was like
hooks in you right away, right?
Yeah, it was immediately you grasped the concept immediately. This Roller Champion seems definitely more skill based,
right?
But it's just you're doing laps and your body checking guys, and you're trying to steal the ball. I don't know. It'll probably find an audience, but I'm not going to say I was in love with it. And like, whereas the first time I played Rocket League, like they're different games. They're kind of similar, different. It's getting a ball into a net. It's a neat new thing. Whatever, go check it out for yourself. It's only on PC right now, so the demo.
They also announced, because this is the hotness right now, apparently, their own subscription service called Uplay Plus. $15 a month. I'm assuming that's American, so $18 Canadian, which seems real steep to me unless they stick with a $15 as well. Gives you a library of over 100 Ubisoft games and all their DLC. It will also include early access and new releases like Watch Dogs Legions, so it sounds like, you know, that might be a good way to like jump in, play new games, and possibly jump out if there's not really other things you're playing. I don't know. That's going to apparently launch in September of this year. And they're saying in 2020 you'll be able to play those games on the Google Stadia if you are on that platform as well. So,
yeah, another subscription service. So we actually, I forgot to mention was Bethesda talked about their streaming platform.
So I was looking a little bit more into that. So
it was more their, I guess.
So Bethesda announced their streaming
Orion
technology, but they were not announcing, at least not yet, they were not announcing their own platform for it. Like, so they were saying like other platforms and other people could like license their technology and use their technology
and all this stuff.
So it sounds like they were working on that. Now my question, of course, becomes like, why would you work on that? And if you're not planning on moving all of your shit to that, or at least offering that as an option down the road.
Or maybe they're like, maybe Microsoft or Sony will license this from us. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
We don't want to get into the streaming game, but we'll make the tech for someone to do it.
Yeah, or maybe they're like, maybe it's set up in such a way that you could license it per game. So like maybe like the game could be available on your platform, but it uses their tech so it runs better. Like, I'm not sure. So we'll see. But streaming this is gonna become a problem on games. Like, anyways, moving on.
Rainbow Six Quarantine was announced, coming out next year. It's a 3-player versus co-op game. Looks kind of cool.
3-player tactical player versus enemy co-op game.
Yeah.
So that is like I thought initially that it was like a new expansion or something for Siege, but it is a totally new game. And it almost has like, there's definitely had some like horror sort of vibes in it. So it sounds like part of the quarantine might be, I don't know, it looked kind of scary. So it'll be interesting to see what that comes out with.
What else?
There's a new mobile game
called about the future.
Elite Squad.
Oh yeah,
it's got a whole bunch of the different like Clancy franchise characters.
That's where they teased Sam Fisher.
Yeah,
that was not a welcome tease. For Honor's getting new content. Rainbow Six Siege is getting new content. Assassin's Creed got a story creator. Division 2, more. They talked about new content. They talked about all the new content coming to their existing games. They're making a TV series with the Always Sunny Philadelphia people. People are not excited about that.
They brought their own celebrity out with John Barenthal, and who also brought an adorable puppy dog out on stage.
Yeah, awesome dog.
To talk about Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
I think Breakpoint looks dope.
I'm
pretty excited. Considering how much fun we had with Wildlands, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah,
it was a decent press conference.
It honestly, for me, theirs was. I didn't watch the Square one, so I can't say to that, but it ended real weird.
Oh yeah, it ended very abruptly.
It had a Just Dance thing in the middle that felt super
their pacing
odd.
was all over the place. The quality announcements was all over the place, so it just didn't seem as tight. Even though there was some great content, there were some great reveals. Like
honestly,
Legion,
though, it felt like they could have skipped it this year and just released some of this stuff. I was like, it was so weird though.
Legion. They should have spent more time on Gods of War, Gods and Monsters instead of just a tiny tease. They could have cut out a lot of their expansion stuff. They could have cut out the Just Dance stuff and made it shorter and tighter. But it's just like they just had very ups and downs. But
it was weird. They cut like just when I thought that they were going to
and then
releasing like some other games and talk about some more stuff, they just cut straight to an esports tournament.
They transitioned into their esports thing with stupid celebrities, and it was like, is it over? Is it over?
Yeah, we were. There was a bunch of us in our Discord going like, "Wait, are they going to come back? Is there going to be more after? Like, what the fuck is going on here?" We must have
all just turned our heads when they said, "Thank you for coming out."
I don't think they did. At least not on the stream.
So
I'm assuming
it was fine.
You know,
I'm excited to play their new games that they have coming out.
Same. The games that they announced look good, and the lineup is solid.
Square, everyone, this was the darling of the ball. Everyone was super excited to find out about Marvel's Avengers, which they dragged us through, oh my god, a million different things before we got there at the end of their conference. Their conference was way too long. They had way too much stuff. They did show gameplay and stuff for Final Fantasy VII Remake. They announced a date next year, March 3rd.
But that's only for the first episode of the game?
Which is 2 Blu-rays. They mentioned.
Right.
It looks freaking amazing. I've had friends who were there who have played it. They're pretty impressed with how it plays. They're like, this is amazing, and they're pretty excited. But that game, we're gonna have a Final Fantasy VII every year here for the next 5 years. Like, let's be honest. That's if they finish it. I'm sure they'll finish it. They're gonna sell so many freaking copies. But that's gonna take a while before. I almost am tempted to I'll just wait till the whole game's out, probably.
I feel like we skimmed over. Okay, the Crystal Dynamics Avengers thing. They finally showed that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. I was gonna talk about all this other shit first.
Okay, we can talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that at the end.
That's what they ended there. We suffered through all this other crap.
Okay,
to get to Avengers. Final Fantasy VIII's getting remastered.
But not like a full crazy one.
No,
more
just
like an up-res
here it's going to run on current systems. It's going to be a bad PC port like all their other ones.
Right.
Romancing Saga 3 is coming. It's a classic SNES game that people have wanted for a long time.
Is the third one? I didn't think that the third one was there.
That
was the Super NES one. Okay, yeah.
It never came here. Scarlet Saga Grace is another freaking game that's coming as well. Whatever. Outriders is from the people who can fly. Bulletstorm guys.
Yeah.
Coming
and they also
summer.
did Gears of War Judgment as well.
1 to 3 player cooperative shooter.
They showed a cinematic video.
Yeah, there was no gameplay.
I have no idea what it's about or what
those guys
like.
Can make competent games. Bulletstorm is pretty good, and Judgment is pretty good. So we'll wait and see. I'm sure it'll be all right. Man, they just had a bunch of like JRPGs remastered crap stuff.
Last Remnant remastered, which I was like, what? And the Crystal Chronicles remastered.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting DLC. Like, it was just so much stuff that, like, if you're a super hardcore Square Enix JRPG fan, you were probably excited to see. Like, one person I know on Twitter is like, Square had the best press conference. And I'm like, did we watch the same press conference? Like, you're kidding, right? You're joking. Because I thought it was, like, insufferable. It was painful to watch. The pacing was all over the place. And
the funny thing was is that they announced the release date for Final Fantasy VII the night before at their Final Fantasy VII Symphony concert.
Which I heard a lot of people complain about that as well.
Oh, I heard it was amazing, but I
heard it was terrible.
Oh, see?
Apparently the orchestra was underutilized. Apparently they were playing midis, and the orchestra's just sitting there doing nothing.
Wow.
Some fans were quite disappointed at the quality of that event. Anyway, whatever. That's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. Anyway.
So then at the end of all this pain and suffering, they showed us Avengers. It looked all like cutscene, but I believe it was gameplay stitched in between there. But it was hard to tell what was gameplay because it looked so scripted.
It was a mess. Honestly, I went into E3 thinking that this might, if they were going to show this, that this might be like my most excited for game. And as of what speaking purely off of what I've seen right now, very disappointed.
It is a new take. It's Crystal Dynamics tape. It isn't MCU. It's totally unique.
I think them not going, like, they should have went with either a completely different art style or they should have went full MCU, but this whole thing where they did the, like, it's close but just weird. Like, so all the characters look like they're almost like they're the characters from the MCU stuff, but not quite. But they also don't look like they're comic book characters either. Like it's this weird.
Had a little uncanny valley.
Yes,
because
and you're just like, is this supposed to be MCU?
We couldn't relate to any of the characters. I thought it looked overall, besides the hang-ups of like not necessarily liking the way the characters' faces looked because of what I'm so used to. I thought the game looked like. I think it looks pretty good. Like
my problem was they didn't show me anything. It was like a whole cutscene there was some stuff happening in like these.
If you look closely, they show some combat. It's third person traversal and combat. Like
I just don't know what that game's gonna like be.
I don't know. I think it looked cool, but I mean, it looks like you can play as a bunch of the different characters. It sounds like you're gonna be able to play as Cap, Thor, the Hulk, Black Widow, and Iron Man. Maybe that's where they spent all their money on all the voice actors, like Troy Baker and Nolan North. Know.
Among the list is quite long. They're just the two that I can think of off the top of my head. But like I was reading out who else was in that, and I was like, holy shit! There's a lot more other people that are quite large. Yeah, like I don't know. It just
it's a multiplayer game. It's 4 players. It's a service game a la Destiny and Anthem. There's no loot boxes. New characters and regions will be free.
I feel like this is a game that they just did a really bad job of the trailer for me at least. Like I saw that trailer and I went like, what the fuck? It would have been nice if they cut into actual
gameplay. It just all looked like a big giant cutscene.
So yeah, and it just was all over the place. Like they show a bunch of, I'm assuming as part of the story, where there's an event that happens and this and that, and like I don't know, they have the potential to suck me in, and in fact they push me away. And like I said, they could totally release another trailer that doesn't suck and I could see it and I could be like, fuck, everything I just said is totally wrong and it looks rad. But at this very moment in time, I watched it and I was just like, fuck that. I am not excited about that at all. That looks shitty.
Yeah, so my buddy who's there, he went to the booth, the demo they were showing.
Yep.
And Iron Man played like probably how the Anthem mech guys flew. So they were actually flying around. That was
okay. So it was actually playable. Like he was actually able to see,
not by him, but by the demo they showed.
But somebody was actually playing and showing off gameplay.
They were showing Black Widow. There was QuickTime events. And then he said they also showed like Thor, Hulk, and Captain America doing your typical third-person beat-em-ups with like super moves and stuff like that. So,
which is kind of what I expect out of that game.
Yeah. Like you can see smidgens of what would look like to be as gameplay in that trailer, but I think they should have done a gameplay walkthrough demo after that reveal. There would be less questions.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not think that it was a good trailer for that game at all.
I think
is my problem.
And
I'm hoping it's just a bad trailer.
I think it was just a bad. I think it just wasn't a clear trailer. Like we wanted to see the game, and they wanted to show us fancy cutscenes and special effects. Like, look at how cool we made this look, and we got these big voice actors and cutscenes. I think it's gonna be cool. I pre-ordered it. I'm looking forward to play it.
That is an absolutely. I will wait for reviews before I pre-order that shit.
I'm hoping it's playable at PAX.
Yeah, same.
That's all I can hope for.
I would like to see it at PAX.
And that was the painful Square Enix press conference. And then yesterday we had Nintendo Direct. It was tight. It was just under an hour. Everyone was pretty happy. We are all biased Nintendo fanboys here, so they teased the new Zelda, which I alluded to.
Which is more or less what I said.
Happy.
I could see them doing as long as it was exactly what it is, which is more or less a palette swap. Like
I got to go back to the replay. Using the
same Breath of the Wild assets. It's the same art style. I don't remember you
saying that. I had to go back to replay, but anyway.
I remember saying I think it's too early for a whole brand new game unless it's like a palette swap kind of like that.
Yeah,
and that's totally what this is.
I said they're going to tease it.
Yeah, and they did. They totally teased it.
Banjo-Kazooie and Dragon Quest Hero coming to Smash. That's not a big deal. Animal Crossing has been delayed. It's coming next year, March 2020. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, March next year.
I feel like that game would have been better off this year. I mean, I get that they needed to push it.
Yeah, it's a very different game than everything that's coming out around, but that's pretty exciting. Animal Crossing is amazing. I'm excited. Link's Awakening.
Looks awesome.
Comes September 20th. Looks dope. That's super exciting. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, so excited for that. That looks so good.
It's also coming this year. They didn't give a date, though.
Yeah.
It's got co-op. They unveiled Guigi, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I think you can play up to 8 players in the multiplayer modes. I think the campaign is co-op, though, as well.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, because one of you plays as Luigi and the other person can play as Guigi, swapping between them. That's pretty neat.
They showed more of the Damon Cross Machina. That's coming out September as well. Jesus Christ, September is insane. No More Heroes 3 is in development. That was pretty exciting. Travis Strikes Again. That's going to be next year.
I'm definitely one of those people that don't fully understand the No More Heroes love. That's not a game that I...
Shut up. It's awesome.
I don't know. I can't get into.
Pokeball Plus controller can be used with Sword and Shield. They didn't really spend much time with Pokemon Sword and Shield because they had the Direct last week. Makes sense. It's playable on the show floor. People have talked about the new Corgi Pokemon. Has Pokemon fans pretty excited. There's a new Mana Pokemon. There's a new Mana game coming. They also made it really expensive.
There's a new Mana game coming to the West. It's the Mana game that Trials of Mana was already released in Japan. They're finally releasing it here, and they're getting a remake of it, which again, to my knowledge, was already released in Japan. That is also coming here.
Yeah, that's next year.
So they announced the collection of Mana,
and
which
it's
is
available today.
Fuck yeah, I already bought it.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah! That I was excited about. Fucking the Mana games, those are great. Those are great action RPGs.
It's like, wow, it's expensive.
So that includes Final Fantasy Adventure for the Game Boy, Secret of Mana for the Super NES, and the third game, which has never been released here, which was Trials of Mana, all together in a package and sent here, which is awesome. I haven't actually played it yet, but I did buy it. And then they announced,
comes out in August if you want the physical version.
Yes. And then they're doing a 3D remake of Trials of Mana, which is kind of similar to the Secret of Mana the Secret of Mana remake that they did. And that'll be early next year, which is cool.
They showed off some more Dragon Quest XI S Definitive Edition. That's September again. Fucking hell.
That game is so pretty. There's a part of me that feels like it would be great to play that on my Switch, but the game is so pretty on my PlayStation.
That's the thing. I was watching the Treehouse demo today, and I'm like, that doesn't look as good as the PS4 version.
Not even close.
There's like a lot of shit missing in the environment.
And that game looks so good on PS4. There was a part of me when they announced it, I was like, ooh, maybe I'll stop playing because I'm only like 10 hours in at this point, and maybe I'll pick it up.
Upgrade to Dragon Quest XI so that you can get the definitive stuff in the original.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would make sense.
It would.
Anyway, Witcher 3 is coming to Switch.
That I'm blown away with, as well as the fact that
edition.
We've got so that game's going to run at 540p in handheld mode and 720p on docked mode.
Yeah, and I think both modes are going to run like dock.
It's cool that
it'll be interesting to see because that game is a very detailed game.
That game is such a beast on PS4 and Xbox One, and even a lot of PCs still. I can't imagine trying to play that game on a Switch, but hey, if you've never played it and that's all you've got, cool. Good for you. Give it a shot. It's a dope-ass game. Resident Evil 5 and 6 are coming to Switch. Contra Rogue Corps is coming in September. Honestly, I think it looks freaking terrible. Yeah, new Contra game. It'll have local and online multiplayer for 4 players. They announced the collection. Well, they didn't announce. They announced the collection is coming out today. We already knew the Contra collection was coming. Well, now it's available. There's a remake of Panzer Dragoon coming to Switch. That's kind of cool. I wish this was Panzer Dragoon Saga. Yeah, who doesn't? I am sorry. I don't know what it was about the way that they this game showed in the video. It just looked really sluggish and not at all how I remember the Panzer Dragoon games being. I don't know. That said, yeah, if they announced Saga, I'd lose my fucking mind. That would be amazing. Yeah, it was. There's some others. The Dark Crystal's getting a tactics RPG. It actually looks pretty good. I think they showed the Fire Emblem stuff. They went in depth on the Treehouse today. Fire Emblem and Mario Maker. They talked about Mario Maker's getting multiplayer with your friends, which was a big concern that wasn't happening. Right. They said they're going to fix that in a patch. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, actually, I've been watching a lot of the Treehouse. I've been having the Treehouse streams in the background while working the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. I gotta say, those streams are really awesome. I think Nintendo does a really good job. It was a good. They also mentioned, I don't know if we've mentioned these, but the Spyro the Dragon trilogy is coming to Switch in September, which is pretty cool. I wasn't aware of that. And Ni no Kuni, the original, is being remastered for new consoles and is also coming to the Switch in September. Also releasing on PS4 and Xbox One. And Super Lucky's Tale, new Super Lucky's Tale will be coming out on the Switch. Yeah, they showed that on the Treehouse stream. That's when it crashed today. Oh, really? That's when E3 lost power, I guess. Oh, and let's not forget, Dauntless is coming to the Switch. Yes, hell yeah! Did they say later this year, or is it next year? Now I can play Dauntless on the go and crossplay and keep my saves. I can play bring my Switch, play Dauntless. That's when I'll start playing. Bring it home, play on my PC. Oh, hell yeah. And then, I believe today, unexpected announcement, Konami is releasing a TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Fuck. It's like, what? Yes. Konami? Hell to the yeah. I really liked... I liked the TurboGrafx. It was a neat little system. I had one for a little bit. I kind of wish I still had it. I don't know why I sold it. So apparently they announced that there's going to be 16 games total for this. Mm-hmm. They've announced, as of this article, which was yesterday, they've announced 6 titles, but I believe they've announced another 6 today. Oh, did they? I feel like they announced more today as well. It's unfortunate that the Japanese version gets... Oh, the Japanese one has such a good lineup. So we're going to get 6 titles at least initially have been announced. It looks like R-Type, YS, Book 1 and 2. Ys, Book 1 and 2. Ys, YS, Ys. New Adventure Island, Ninja Spirit, Alien Crush, and Dungeon Explorer. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the Bonk games. There's no way we don't get the Bonk games. I hope so.
And Keith Courage. Like, seriously.
Oh, this I will probably have to pre-order.
I don't think there's any price. I don't think there is.
I didn't realize that NEC got bought by, I guess,
yeah, that's it says right here.
got bought by Konami. Yeah,
if you're wondering why Konami is handling this, the original console was a joint effort between NEC and Hudson. Konami became Hudson's parent company in 2005 and then absorbed its operations in 2012, meaning it owns the brands and all its properties.
Yeah.
So that's how that makes sense. Yeah, in Japan and Europe, they're going to get the different iterations, the PC Engine.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Which is cool, yeah. The PC Engine Core Graphic Mini and the PC Engine Mini. And then we get the TurboGrafx 16 Mini.
Yeah, it's neat. Hopefully it's not too expensive. That was a cool, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, as long as they don't price this real bad, I'm super excited about it.
And then Arcade 1UP, the fine makers of the mini arcade cabinets that have been popping up around recently. I just bring this up because they announced like cocktail versions of some of their games. Pac-Man, Street Fighter, and then they also have the Star Wars cabinet as well, that's a pretty classic game. But the Street Fighter and Pac-Man cabinets look pretty cool for a mini console.
Those look pretty dope.
Like, that's pretty neat. There's obviously links to all these stories, more information, all the stuff. If there's trailers or anything we talked about, you want to see the links are in the show notes. Yeah.
I just realized we totally missed a story.
What did we miss?
One of my most excited for games of the entire show, go figure. Darksiders Genesis has been announced.
Didn't we talked about it last week?
No, we didn't, because they didn't announce it last week.
Yeah, I think you're very wrong about that. Darksiders Genesis announced for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. It's in last week's.
We got to see gameplay now, though. How's that?
I think we saw gameplay.
No, they're actually like real gameplay, like people actually playing it and posting
not the
videos.
cutscene from the trailer.
Exactly. No, like real gameplay. I've watched several videos now of people playing through the E3 demo, and it looks fucking real good. Real good. I'm excited.
It does look
really
cool.
excited. It looks really good. So
yeah, we're day 2. There's still a day left. I'm sure there's going to be more news. I'm sure we've probably missed a bunch of stuff.
Wait, doesn't E3 start on Monday?
No, started on Tuesday.
Really?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday is just press conferences.
All right, there you go.
Stupid E3 starts earlier and earlier. It's so annoying. Like, if you want to get the whole experience, you literally have to be in town on Saturday,
right,
until like Thursday, Friday. It was like a whole week. It's just way too much. The stupid Microsoft's on Sunday.
Yep.
And then everyone else
Bethesda
is on Monday. It's going to be really interesting. Like, last week, Sony dropped a bunch of bombs. Clearly, they're not going to drop any bombs during the show because it doesn't make sense. There's just so much stuff going on right now. I'm not going to be surprised if we hear some big Sony news next week or an announcement of a state of play for this month sometime next week after E3.
Yeah, or they'll distance themselves from it a bit more and then like talk about stuff in like July or August. Who knows?
Yeah, my friends that are there have said that they're enjoying the show. They're having fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard not to have fun at a video game convention, but they said it does seem a little weird. There's a lot of space.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, no, it was funny. Nick from PlayStation had posted something on Twitter about like, yeah, this is the first E3 in 9 years I'm not at. And him and I got to talking, and he's like, but hey, on a plus note, I'll be at PAX West this year, so that's cool. So he'll be at PAX West this year.
So I'm hoping they bring some good stuff.
Yeah, so
that'll be cool. Yeah, the FOMO was hard on the weekend, but after Sunday or Monday's press conferences, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm okay with not being there.
Yeah,
because a lot of the stuff there is not playable. And,
I was,
and there's not a lot of stuff there. Like, a lot of stuff is missing. Next year's going to be a good year, though. But I hope Sony comes back.
I was really surprised. It's been interesting, like listening to podcasts and stuff that I'm still catching up on from last week. Where they're talking about E3 predictions and what they expect to see at the show and so on and so forth. Now, of course, like listening to the last few that I've been listening to from, last week or whatever, but now that I've obviously seen, the Microsoft and the Bethesdas and stuff like that, it's really interesting to see like the predictions that people were like, oh yeah, I think this is absolutely going to be there. I think we're definitely going to have to see this. And just like how much of that like didn't come to fruition, and some stuff that people were really strongly like one of the things that I know a lot of people were really expecting was Fable. Like a lot of people were really expecting a Fable announcement from Microsoft.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising that they
nothing. Obviously, a lot of people were hoping for a Splinter Cell announcement, but that was, I think, a little bit more far-fetched. Obviously, the Rocksteady guys had announced that they weren't going to be there, so some of the podcasts that were like saying like, "Oh, I really want to see Rocksteady's new game," hadn't obviously they obviously recorded that before Rocksteady made that announcement. But yeah, no, it was very interesting kind of listening to the stuff, kind of like, oh yeah, I think this is going to happen. Meanwhile, I'm like, nope, got that one wrong. And then a few of the things that people were really like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't really know where that rumor came from, but like, it seems like it's really like, picking up steam. One of those ones was definitely the Witcher 3 on Nintendo Switch. A lot of people were like, yeah, I don't really know like where this is coming from, but like apparently it's a store. Like would that even run on the Switch? Like, and then here we are with them announcing it, which is kind of wild. So yeah, overall it feels like a bit of a weird year, but doesn't make it any less awesome. I still love E3, and I kind of kick myself for not taking like the Monday of the press conferences off work so I could just sit there and veg out on them still. But
yeah, you didn't miss much. I happen to be not feeling very good and watched the press conferences.
Fair enough.
Wasn't
yeah.
Oh, the kid this weekend was just a nightmare. She's like not sleeping in her bed, keeping us up all night long, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm dying. So yeah, that's not what I wanted to be doing.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, it was. The FOMO was definitely satiated with the less than stellar press conferences on Monday. I'm like, oh man,
yeah.
It was good. Microsoft was great. Nintendo was great. I still was expecting more.
Yeah,
some awesome game. We got lots of awesome games coming.
Yeah,
too many freaking games.
It's exactly.
All coming in March and April, and September is like ridiculously stacked. I don't know how I'm going to do September. I'm going to need to get a second life.
So, one of the things that I've been like thinking about though recently now is like if Microsoft continues to do their thing here with launching like with releasing all of the games not only as Xbox One exclusives, but they've also been launching them on PC as well. I don't know that I'm going to need to buy the next Xbox. If my PC is awesome, which it is, I don't know that I'm going to need to do that. If all of those games are going to be coming to my PC and I'm just going to play them there anyways, I might honestly be able to get away with just having Xbox Live Gold, playing those games on my PC, and buying the next generation Sony like console. And obviously Nintendo, they're over here doing their own fucking thing.
It is kind of redundant having a PC and an Xbox, to be honest. It gets the gap between the two gets smaller and smaller.
Like if because the thing is like for a while, like with all the Halo games and stuff, like those
you
were only
get them on PC.
Exactly. Like I could only play them on Xbox One. Gears was a similar thing. I could only get it on Xbox One. And Forza, same thing, right?
And
like
with crossplay coming,
right?
It is almost kind of redundant having an Xbox.
If and
I've been playing a lot of my Xbox One. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the system.
Yep.
But
But that's also like for me who has like a PC that can run everything.
Yeah.
And who, as somebody who likes to game in front of their like computer,
we're in pretty lucky positions that we can afford gaming PCs.
Right.
For most people, they can't. Most people can't afford a game PC. It's just
and here's
not
the other
in the
thing.
cards.
It gives me a perfect excuse to keep my gaming PC up to date if I'm not going to buy an Xbox.
Yeah. No,
I
that
don't buy
money
the
you don't
next
spend
gen
on an
Xbox,
Xbox, you can spend on a graphics
on
card.
the new video card, or replacing the processor when they announce third gen Threadrippers, right? Like, so yeah, like it's interesting though. It's just something I've been thinking about because, you know, like right now, like there's still a few games here and there that like I play on both, but now with Game Pass on the PC, like I don't necessarily know if I'm going to need an Xbox. I might just be able to get away with a PC, especially with, like you said, like with crossplay happening. I might just be able to play all those games with my friends on Xbox and those other like platforms. I'll just do it in front of my PC instead.
Yeah,
So.
well, with the stuff that's included on Game Pass, it definitely narrows that window for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to play on your big 4K TV.
Yeah, no, for sure, right?
I will unfortunately have them all.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've all been collecting dust lately, though. I've been playing so much more PC games lately, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I go through fits and spurts, though, so I know what it's like.
Oh, that's it. Like, I was playing Mortal Kombat 11 on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, right now I'm playing Exodus on PC. And I'll probably go back to Xbox.
Right.
I played Resident Evil on Xbox. I've been playing a lot of Xboxes, more so than I have in the past. And that has to do with Game Pass. And that's exactly what Microsoft is.
That's their goal, right?
That's the goal. That's the play. And it's working.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I just have this amazing collection of games. They're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like I have no lack of things to play. I have stuff in. The thing is just it makes me not have to need to buy anything that isn't an first party exclusive, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah,
it's exciting.
It is exciting. Get some.
Yeah.
We got PAX coming up. A lot of stuff here that is not playable will be playable at PAX. I'm sure that's how it always is. Like every time, last few years when I've gone to E3, E3 essentially moves to PAX.
Yep.
And we usually get demos. So I'm like, oh, I can play this, and now we're playing it. So that's the great thing about PAX. So that's pretty exciting. And it's 4 days. Yay!
Yep. And obviously Gamescom's coming up, and who knows? Maybe Sony will do a big thing there.
Yeah,
they'll just skip E3 and they'll just be like, you know what? We're just going to do a big press conference at Gamescom, and we'll announce everything there. Like, who knows, right?
Gamescom sounds like a disaster.
It sounds like a hot mess that I really want to go to at least once in my life.
It's like 250,000 or 300,000 people, eh?
It's big. It's the biggest gaming convention in the world. It's massive. It's insane.
The cool thing they do have a whole day that's media only.
Mm-hmm.
So
you try to get your like appointments and stuff in on that day.
You can go see everything, and then then it's just a sea of stinky bodies for 3 days, 3 or 4 days. I think it's quite because it's open to the public, and it's always been open to the public. That show,
yeah. So cool.
Very interesting to hear some more talk on the feel of the floor on some other shows of people who are there. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if they made better concessions for like the Gamer Pass type people. What the lineup situation is like. Like the only people I know there are industry people, and it seems like they've had no lineups and no waiting and stuff. But E3 does do something I do appreciate. E3 does. They do an industry 2 hours every morning, kind of like that media hour at PAX.
Yeah,
which like I kind of wish PAX extended that to every day as well, because that would be very handy. But whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's our episode 1 of E3.
There you go. It's a lot of E3 stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of information, a lot of glossing over. We'll have more in-depth thoughts on like pretty much every game we've talked about. We're gonna get hands-on. There's gonna be more updated demos.
Rick's got to pre-order the new Xbox One controller.
Yes, I don't think those pre-orders are live in Canada. They are live in the US.
Yeah.
Currently, it's $10 off at Amazon.com.
Whew,
I did
$10.
pre-order the collector's edition of Cyberpunk. Thank you very much.
I will be hopefully getting that from said individuals. If not, I will be buying from GOG, which is owned and operated by the Cyberpunk developers, CD Projekt Red. So I will be buying it from GOG because that means that all the money goes to them and not to anybody else. So I will support them in that way.
Public service announcement. The Sega Genesis Mini on Amazon Prime is matching Walmart's price of $79 Canadian.
I may or may not be going to that website right now to pre-order that.
If you're on the fence about ordering that, yeah, that's $20 off the
I hate that I'm
price.
not on the fence for that.
Well, the thing is that Amazon, their shipping is way better than Walmart. Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Even if you get a good deal, that's a problem with Walmart. If you get a good deal on their stuff, you ain't getting your shit launch day. You're getting it like 4 or 5 days later. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, look at that, $79.99.
yeah, and the Elite 2 is on the US site. I just saw Wario64 tweet about it. Actually, I did a bad thing and I pre-ordered the dual pack Pokemon Shield and Sword because it was like $120 on Amazon.
Oh,
I think it's out of stock. I think it's out of stock now, but I'm like,
that's perfefect. You can give me one, and
I'm like,
that works out really well.
Pretty freaking cheap. Well, you can pay for the other one if you want.
Oh, it's less exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of sales going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Between Amazon and Walmart. And
I won't lie, it was really weird the other day when I was on the Steam page and there was Destiny too. Like, you could buy now and like release in September on Steam. Like, it just felt real weird to see it on there. So
I keep seeing freaking Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 pop up everywhere, and I'm so split. I can't tell if I want it or not. It's on sale at Walmart. So
the first trailer when they announced it did not look good. Like, I remember looking at that and I was like, whoa, I don't know. Like, that does not look good. Like, that, I don't know. And then now that I've actually watched some more gameplay videos and I've seen it more and more, I'm thinking it looks pretty good. I'm probably going to have to get it.
That's an exclusive, right? For Switch?
Yeah, I actually wish it wasn't. But, oh well. It is what it is.
Dane?
Yo.
I'm going to say that's an episode 208.
Whew.
How do you feel about that?
208, man. That's a lot of episodes.
Yes, it is. Everyone, you can follow me on Discord at Rick F. No K.
On Discord?
Oh, on Twitter. Duh. I was trying to remind myself I got to mention the Discord because I didn't say it at the top of the show.
Oh, so good.
Freudian
you can follow
slip.
me on Discord at Rick F.
At Rick F. Good luck with that.
I mean, you can, but you probably want to hit him up on Twitter instead. You can come hang out with me on Twitter at Dane Cody at DAYNECODY.
Join our Discord server.
There you go.
Where you can not follow me, but you could be my friend, and you can chat with Dane and I on the daily, on the regular, as we BS all day long, share photos, jokes, talk about E3 as we've been doing. Pretty much that's where a lot of our live chatting was going on as the press conferences were going down. In any browser, bit.ly/gap Discord. That'll get you into our Discord. Make sure to join, say hi, join in the discussion. That's easily one of the best places to interact with us. Questions, comments, concerns. There's a forum for that. I don't know if you guys want us to talk about anything next week in more depth that we maybe glazed over.
Feel free to let us know.
Let us know, and we'll come back and hit up some of that stuff. I'm sure we're going to have a lot more follow-up stories next week on some of this stuff and go into greater depth. I'm pretty excited. There's some cool freaking games coming out. Some neat surprises. I pre-ordered everything. I got it all pre-ordered. And if it wasn't on PC, I pre-ordered it on Xbox.
There you go.
So, but that I don't know. Seeing how things, the state of play and cross play seems to be coming quicker, sooner than later. it's almost going to be irrelevant what console you pick, which is, I can't wait. I just can't wait that I don't have to make a choice. And then I can play with everyone. You know what I mean?
That part of it is rad.
Yeah, like there's no shortage of someone to jump in because, hey, I'm playing Division 2 on PC, but you've got your super high level world tier 5 character on Xbox. Well, you jump in with me and you can drag my ass kicking and screaming through some higher content. Like,
there you go.
Like, that's awesome. And you don't have to start from scratch and play it on PC again, which is just a waste of time.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, like, follow, subscribe, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're Geekoholics everywhere. Leave us reviews on any of the sites where you can. I believe iTunes is dead. They've got the new Apple podcast app on Mac OS as well as on,
right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
As well as on Apple devices. Leave us reviews there. I don't know what other platforms have reviews, but anywhere that you can speak good about us, that's the little we ask of you. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I'm going to say until next week, Dane, we are out.
E3! Woo woo!
Peace.